You want it? Oh, oh! You want it? See how it flans its neck and shoots upwards, just like a red-bellied black snake? They are in the same family as the red-bellied black! Whoa! Look at that! There he is. Look how beautiful he is. Look at that! Alright, I'm going to put his hide back down. Want the food? Here he is. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! What's up, dude? Oh, look at that! Look how insane his colors are right now. This snake is on fire. Look at that. Beautiful snake. Pseudechis collette, the beautiful Collette snake from Queensland, Australia. What is going on, beautiful people? I was just creeping in the depths and darknesses of my snake house. Welcome to another beautiful night in the snake house here at the Everglades Outpost. We're going to be feeding some snakes tonight. I got a big bowl right over here if you come check it out. A big bowl of defrosted rodents and chicks. All assorted sizes. We got small rats in here. We got mediums. We got a little bit of large. We got chicks. All the good stuff for a lot of different snakes. We're going to be feeding mainly elapids tonight. And possibly a few small vipers. Now if you guys look, you can see the big female mamba, Allison. She's actually in that box. She's sleeping right now. Mambas, for the most part, are diurnal snake species, so they don't like to hunt at night. So we're going to leave her alone. We're not going to actually try and feed her, but we're going to try and feed some of the cobras, because cobras are known to be active as night as well. So we're going to be feeding these cobras, be feeding a couple of these snakes. We actually tried to feed some of these snakes earlier today, but we just got the AC fixed in the snake house, and it got real cool, so I had to make sure all the heat lamps were all fixtured and set up. So you guys are going to see a little clip of us trying to feed the plain black snake earlier today. That kind of got a little explosive and jumped out. So check out this clip. First I want to start feeding, let's see, the plain black snake. We got the plain black snake in here. If you guys come get a look, he's hiding right here at the lip. This is a species of snake that only comes from Papua New Guinea and one other island near Papua New Guinea. It is the most toxic family member of the king brown. Think about that. King browns, Collette snakes, red-bellied black snakes. They're all in the same family. It's called Pseudechis. It's right here. This is Pseudechis papuanensis. This is the strongest venom of all the family members. This guy has a super powerful neurotoxin that will fry your sense receptors and just leave you toasted to the point where you can't sense a smell, or you can't smell anything, you can't taste anything, and possibly it'll put you in a coffin because of how deadly this snake is. So let's get into it and feed the snake. Alright guys, we're going to grab a small rat right here. Good little size for this little plain black snake. We're going to see where it's at. It's got a crazy feeding response. Let's see where this snake's at. Where are you going? He's right here at the lip. Here's his tail. What are you doing? Oh, there's his head. Look at him right here. It looks like he might be a little opaque right now. Oh, he might be a little opaque. Yeah, he's extremely opaque. He's going through shed. The snake is actually growing like crazy. Let's see if he'll pick up the scent and still go after it. I don't think so, though. You want the food? You want it? Oh, oh! You want it? See how it flans its neck and shoots upwards, just like a red-bellied black snake? They are in the same family as the red-bellied black! Whoa! Look at that! That's why this snake is very dangerous. It's all over the place. Alright, so it looks like we're not going to feed this snake. If anything, I'll leave the rat pup right in the enclosure, but check this out. There's the plain black snake. It's getting huge. Let's use the tongs as some support. Look at that. You can see its eyes are super opaque right now. If you weren't familiar with venomous reptiles and you're from North America, you might think this is a black racer, but no, this is actually the deadliest family member of the king brown. And we're going to make sure the snake goes back inside its enclosure and is left alone because we don't want to mess with him too much while he's going through shed. So we'll leave the rat pup in there. And that's a good food option. Don't come over here and try to jump out again. That was pretty interesting, right? Having him shoot out like that. He's basically blind, so he's just being very defensive, shooting over the place, trying to make big movements to scare me, but he didn't realize that big movement shot him out of the cage. So he wasn't really trying to hurt me. He was just trying to scare me off. Alright, and that's why you don't feed snakes when they're too cool. So now we got the heat lamps all set up. Everyone's been getting nice and toasty all day. We're going to give them some food, so let's start with some of the new lapids. I think we're going to start with, let's see, let's start with the albino monocled cobra and see if it wants to eat. I got the feed ready to go. Let me go get a rat. Let's see, I got a nice sized rat right here, a small one, nothing too big, because this snake species doesn't need big old rats, especially at this size. What's going on, dude? You know? Oh, he's in there. Hello, knock knock. Look, look. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, don't eat the tongs. Go ahead. Go ahead. So this is the albino monocled cobra. Oh, one that was given to us by Albert Killian. Beautiful specimen, and it actually might be a female. I was saying it was a male in the last video. This actually might be a female. So I have 2 female monocled cobras, and I believe my friend Justin Igualada has a beautiful stonewash monocled cobra that I believe is a male. So we're going to try and do a breeding project later this year, and that's another thing to look forward to. We'll see Justin later on. But for now, I'll just be taking care of this beautiful young female albino monocled cobra, raising her up, and hopefully she'll produce some nice, beautiful babies in the future. So it's real good that we got the heat lamps on all these cages. They're going to stay nice and warm, and now the snake house has nice, cool, fresh air running through it. Things are looking good. We also fed the Gabino earlier today. If you guys look up here, you can see that the Gabino is nice and content. Check out that footage. We fed him earlier. We're going to feed Mr. Childish Gambino right here. My Gaboon crossed with a Rhino Viper. Let's see. You want a rat? You want a rat? Bam, there we go, perfect. He was a little hesitant at first, but no worries, there he goes. He's going to chomp down on that rat. It's going to be a good meal that he'll eat in another 2 weeks, because we don't feed him every week like we feed the elapids. The Gaboon Vipers, the Rhino Vipers, the Puff Adders, their metabolism is much slower than the elapids, so we don't want to feed them as much because they're more of a short, fat-bodied snake that can get overfed, and we don't want to make them obese. We want to make sure they have nice, long lives. So now he's all relaxed, coiled up, digesting that food, and we've got this beautiful albino monocled cobra going at it. Then we're going to move on and try to feed this beautiful Ethiopian cobra, beautiful Egyptian cobra that's nearly completely red. And what's funny about this guy, or this girl, is that she doesn't like to use that big hide. She likes to make burrows underneath the substrate. So let's find out where she's at. Oh, she's right there. See her body? Okay, we've got movement right there. I've got a nice sized rat I'm going to offer her. Let's see. There she is. Look at her. See how she shot out? Look at that. Now she's all warmed up. Want some food? She's all over the place. Relax. Want food? Come on. She's looking right at it. Look at her. She's beautiful. Look at that dark hood. Oh, she's going after her. Oh, perfect. Look at that. She's bit it. It looked like it was a feeding response, but then she let go. I think she's a little bit spooked because she's not used to being in front of the camera. Look at her. That is a very cantankerous snake. Look at that. Almost like a purple looking snake. Purple and red. That snake is going to figure out that there's a rat there. So what I'll do is I'll close the glass so we're not at risk of getting bit by this beautiful snake. I'm going to lock this up and hopefully we can capture it on camera for swallowing down that meal. That is an incredible looking snake. It's really a shame that these snakes had to be given to me. I know you guys are probably wondering, why wouldn't you want all these snakes? Well, if you guys haven't seen the previous episodes, the reason I got these snakes is because of a new law change here in Florida where you cannot have personal venomous snake collections anymore, even if you've proved to the state that you're well equipped and knowledgeable enough to take care of these animals. The guy who gave me these snakes has been working with venomous reptiles his whole life. He's in his 60s. He's been keeping venomous reptiles since he was like 13 or 14 years old. And the state told him that since he cannot exhibit them, or he doesn't want to exhibit them, then he cannot have these animals under his license anymore. He can only have them for educational use, have them on exhibit, no personal collection. So all these snakes that he's raised for years had to be given up. Now, I'm glad he decided to give me the animals. I'll take care of them for the rest of their lives, but I would have been much happier seeing these animals in his care for the rest of his life. So it's sad. There's a lot more we're going to be talking about these law changes, because here in the state of Florida, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Some of it's for good reasoning, some of it just doesn't make any sense. So we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. Mainly I just want to tell you guys that I love these new snakes, but it is a sad situation that I had to get these animals versus the guy who raised these animals being able to have them for the rest of his life, because he's been keeping venomous reptiles way longer than I have. So for a man like that not to be able to grow old with his animals is a little upsetting for me. Alright, we've got the forest cobra in here. It's deep in shed. I don't think I'm going to offer it any food. Because usually when a snake's deep in shed, like the point black snake, they go ballistic and they don't even want to eat. So I'm going to unlock this enclosure. There we go. Mexican West Coast rattlesnake right here by the glass. Ready to go. I've got a huge rat right here. Good meal for this snake. Since it's such a large specimen. Bam, perfect. Fixing his fangs real quick. I'll leave the rat right there and let him enjoy his food. Look at that rattle. Oof, Senor Pepe, the Mexican West Coast rattlesnake, is a good-looking specimen. Thick, big, beautiful big male. Hopefully I can find him a beautiful female in the future and he can produce some nice little babies. Isn't that right? What? He stopped rattling. He's like, I like the sound of that. I think we can be friends now. Alright guys, now we're going to be feeding the little green anacondas. They're going to have a little night feeding. Let's see. I've got one right here with its head by the edge. The other one's right over there. Look how beautiful these greens are getting. They are such gorgeous looking snakes. Look at that. Beautiful snakes. They're growing like crazy. They've got the best coloration. Look at that. I love these green anacondas. They're an awesome species. Let me actually pull that camera out of there. And, you know, there's something I gotta bring up. I don't want to talk too much about this, but I was mentioning the law changes. These snakes are under my conditional permit for reptiles here in South Florida. So that conditional permit allows me to have reticulated pythons, Nile monitors, anacondas. These are all snakes and reptiles that are a potential threat to become an established animal out in our ecosystem here in South Florida. There are no green anacondas breeding in the Everglades, nor are there yellow anacondas breeding in the Everglades, but the green anacondas are another animal that's going to be restricted with these new law changes. They don't want people to get more green anacondas that have facilities. So, for example, these green anacondas, they have a lifespan of 20 to 30 years. They're babies right now. I can't wait to spend the rest of my years raising these guys up. But at some point, these animals will pass away. It's a part of life. But if I'm going to use animals like green anacondas and king cobras, all these different species of animal for educational use, if they pass away and I can't get any more, the facility has no more animals to use for educational use, nor do I have animals to breed for conservation purposes. So these new law changes are really, really not for the best. It's baffling where things are going right now in South Florida. So there's actually a website, the US ARC, right down below. If you guys want to go check this out, these are the people fighting for our rights to keep these animals in captivity and properly keep them. Because as you guys see on my channel, I love my animals. I take great care of my animals. My friends, they take great care of their animals. We all have the right to keep these animals responsibly, and we've proven ourselves. And now they're saying animals like green anacondas, reticulated pythons, green iguanas, these animals are now banned. And if you have any of these specimens in captivity, you can keep them, your grandfather, but you cannot breed them, and when they die, you cannot have any more. And that's it. That's a shame. That's a shame, especially if I'm trying to do a facility for conservation purposes and education for the public. All I want to do is educate the public and breed endangered species of reptile and different animals, and I want to conserve these animals and bring awareness to different species and help conservation groups. That's the whole point of this. And for that to be taken away from me because of the fear of these animals getting out, no. We're inspected by Florida Fish and Wildlife. We have snake-proof rooms. We have snake-proof cages. We have locks. We have inventory. We have all these things that are put into place to make sure we're responsible and we follow the rules. So, I'm not trying to stir up the pot, but do not take my animals away. I have been working for this for my whole life. You have to have 1,000 hours with each family of venomous reptiles to be able to own them, no less than a year. Same thing with crocodiles, alligators, big cats, bears, all this different kind of stuff. I've spent my whole life, I'm 22, I've spent from 13 years old to 22 years old, going on 23. I spent all this time working towards getting my licenses. My licenses mean everything to me. My class 1 for crocodiles, class 2 for crocodilians, my ability to own venomous reptiles and conditional species like the anacondas and use them for educational use, because my dream since I was a little kid has been to educate and conserve wildlife. I want to have a facility to conserve wildlife and bring awareness to different species around the world. So that's my piece on this. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this on an episode of Camp Kennan coming out tomorrow. So we'll get into that more. I'm sorry guys, it's a lot of stress to be putting on you, but like I said, I'm putting a link below for the USARK. This is a group of people that are fighting for our rights to have these animals, and they're actually going to go to court with this so they can't change the laws, because they're also trying to add things like, for example, you can't live at the same residence as where you have your venomous reptiles. So if you have a facility, you can't keep the venomous reptiles on that facility and live there at the same time. If I have a sanctuary, I want to be on the property 24/7 and watch over my animals. That's a bit ridiculous. Hopefully, these laws don't go all the way through and we can come to some sort of agreement. But there's a lot more to talk about. Anyways, check out the USARK. They're fighting for our rights to protect these reptiles, to be able to have them in captivity and be able to own them, preserve them, and educate the public with them. So, if you want to help support me and help support all the animal people here in South Florida, donate to the USARK. The USARK will fight for our rights. They will go to court and make sure that we can keep our animals. So check them out, the link below, USARK. Anyways, let's go back to feeding the green anacondas, because we still have them, and we still got to grow them up and get them ready for their future displays. So let's see, I got one green anaconda right here. We're gonna feed this one. You want some food? Come on, go ahead, you got it, bam! Perfect, perfect, look at that. Coiled completely onto the chick. Look at that. Let's just move the camera out. Perfect. Look at her, completely wrapped around that chick. These snakes are growing like crazy. I'm actually gonna get her off those tongs because she's squeezing on them. I'm gonna put her right over here in the corner outside the water so she doesn't fight with her sibling over the same food item, because they'll do that and we'll end up almost eating each other. So let's feed the other one right here. Come on, you ready? Oh yeah, she's picking up the scent. Here she goes. You ready? Come on. Bam, there we go, perfect. Perfect wrap right around the body, just like they would in the wild. They love chicks over rats because out in the wild, anacondas love to eat wading birds. Is their favorite food, because all the wading birds sitting at the water's edge, all those birds standing on top of the lilies, feeding on the water. These anacondas are perfectly designed to sneak up without exposing any part of their body except for the tips of their eyes, because they have frog-like eyes. They sneak up and they snatch it right by the face, wrap around it, and consume it whole. So that's the cool thing about anacondas. They are the ultimate ambush predator. There could be an 18-foot green anaconda next to you in the Pantanal, and you wouldn't even know it, because only two little beady eyes are sticking out. But the rest of that 300-pound snake is under the water. That's what makes anacondas so cool. And probably a good target for horror films. And that's why all those anaconda movies were so popular, because the idea of a giant killer snake in the Amazon is so interesting. But the reality of it is, only on rare occasions do anacondas take the lives of people. Reticulated pythons are more known for that. At least once a year they do. Like this. Alright guys, we have one green anaconda that has finished, and then one that is just getting around to the head, right here in the corner. This female, I just want to redirect her, so she's not, nope, that's not food, that's my finger. I'm going to put her out of the water over here, so she's away from her sibling while she eats. And we're still going to watch over this snake, but we're also going to try and feed another snake at the same time. We've got our new Chinese sharp-nosed viper. Look at this. Beautiful snake, another one that was gifted to us by Albert. Another part of his collection of beautiful Chinese sharp-nosed viper that he had been raising for years. Alright guys, you gotta be super wary with a species like the Chinese sharp-nosed viper. This guy has an incredible strike range that will blow your mind. Let me see if we can go after the rat. And we'll have no problems. Pick up the rat. Pick up the scent. Whoa! Right past the rat. Uh-oh. What you doing, dude? What you doing, dude? You want to eat the rat instead? Whoa! Look at that! That is a very intimidating snake. This snake has the attitude of a black-headed Bushmaster when it feeds. You saw how it struck out with an incredible strike range. He was getting ready to shoot past these forceps right to my hand because of that hot heat signature he's getting off of my palm. The blood pumping through my fist, that warm blood. He sees that with those heat-seeking pits. He targets it and he tries to land a bite because he thinks that's the food. He picks up the scent with his tongue, sees the heat signature, and gets it mixed up. So that's why it's super dangerous when feeding pit vipers. You gotta be super keen. You gotta be making sure you pay attention to every little detail of these animals, because if you're not paying attention, this snake will just launch out, latch its fangs into you, and you're screwed. That was a bad, bad bite. I'm gonna let the snake be for a moment, see what it does, and if it doesn't decide to move the next couple minutes, I'm gonna guide him back into the enclosure, and then I'm gonna close it up. Alright guys, we're going to let the Chinese sharp-nosed viper be right up here at the top. He'll be getting an upgrade for his enclosure pretty soon. We just have to start rearranging all the snakes and figure out what we're going to do going down that line. Now let's check on the little green anaconda. It looks like she's still trying to figure it out. And it looks like her sister went back into the water to come over to this corner. I think we're going to have to put her in a separate container temporarily until she finishes that food. So let's bring her out of here. There we go. I don't want to stress her out too much. She just ate. She's got a big clump of food in her belly. We're going to move her over to a can, hold her in there for right now. Or even better, I'll use one of these snake holding receptacles. We're going to put her in here. This little blue tub. We're going to let her be. And then we're going to put her back in her enclosure when her sister's done eating, so her sister's nice and safe. So now we're going to move on to feeding Big Berkeley. You know she's got a big appetite, so let's see her launch out for some food. She's right here, she's looking at me. She's been anticipating the food all night. Want some food? Huh? Oh yeah, look at her, she's gonna shoot out. Come on. Beautiful monocled cobra, Nayakudya. Beautiful species. She is probably around like 5.5 feet long, way bigger than my new monocled cobra, the albino. Come on. You wanna come out a little bit? Come on. Oh, you can have it. There we go. Oh, got a little rat juice right in my face. Alright, there you go. Perfect, look at this. She's just going to chew down on that head and she's doing the quick work of it. We'll just close that up for safety. Oh, get that wash out of there. Perfect. Let me just get that rat juice out of my eyes and out off my face and up. Whew. Oh, this? Oh. The new Chandler's wildlife merchandise that we just released, the All Hail the King Cobra shirts for Kevin. Yeah, baby, we just got our merch back up. Look at this. All Hail the King Chandler's Wildlife, and it's Kevin the King Cobra, and he's got a crown. Looks kind of familiar, right? Kind of looks like Biggie's crown, huh? So look at this, we got the beautiful King Cobra design out. You guys can check it out on Teespring. We also got the Ziggy merch coming out as well. Check that out, Beat You Like Ziggy. You'll see it on the website as well. And we got a couple more King Cobra designs, and we have also possibly some Black Mamba designs coming in pretty soon. And I reckon you're going to like it a lot. Look at that, check that out. All Hail the King. Alright, while Big Bertha's chewing down on that food, we're going to move over to the left. This is probably the most cantankerous snake I've ever owned. But I think the new snakes are starting to rival his reputation. So let's check this out. We've got the beautiful Egyptian Cobra in here, my original Egyptian Cobra. Give him a medium-sized rat. He's a little crazy. Wakey, wakey. Oh, he just bit himself. He just bit himself over the food. Look at that. Come here. There we go. Look at that. Straight out, no problems eating. This snake is insane. He still wants to hold the crown for most aggressive snake in my collection. I think he might keep that reputation. Let's see how these other snakes do over the next couple weeks. But it seems like he's gonna be the king of crankiness. King Tut, the Egyptian Cobra. Fun fact, if you're new to the channel and you didn't know this, whoop, look at that. He's hooding up and he's chewing on that rat. Fun fact, King Tut, his parents were actually over 9-10 feet long. They were probably the biggest Egyptian cobras in the state of Florida. So his parents basically show how big he's going to possibly get in the future. So hopefully he's going to end up being a big, massive 9-10 foot Egyptian cobra in the future. And up here, we've got the infamous meatball, the Collette Snitch. We haven't seen him in a while. Let's give him some food. He actually shed not too long ago. That's why I haven't fed him in a bit. There he is. Look how beautiful he is. Look at that. All right, I'm going to put his hide back down. Want the food? Here he is. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. What's up, dude? Oh, look at that. Look how insane his colors are right now. This snake is on fire. Look at that. Beautiful snake. Pseudechis colleti. The beautiful Collette snake from Queensland, Australia, from the very remote parts. Very hard snake to find out in the wild of Australia. But they're out there. And they have one of the most potent venoms as well. One of the most potent neurotoxins in the family of Pseudechis. Alright guys, we're going to feed this Arizona black rattlesnake right here, coiled up behind that driftwood. We got a good sized rat right here. Hopefully this snake wants a little bit of food. Oh yeah, look, it's already interested. Come. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, here we go. Bam! Quick tag. Let's go, and sits back and waits for the animal to die. That is exactly how they hunt out in the wild. They don't want to hold on and risk getting injured. They bite, let the venom do its work, stay back, and then they track down using their Jacobson's horn, that forked tongue, pick up the scent, call that dead rat, and leave it up when they find it. Good thing it's eating. This is awesome. Alright guys, now that this Arizona black rattlesnake is done eating that food, we're going to move on down to the pup adders. They're right here ready to go. Let's open this up. Perfect. A little rat right here. Ready? Bam! Perfect. Move him right over there to the corner so he can eat alone. And we're going to feed his girlfriend. Ready? Boom. No problem at all. Let go pretty quick actually. Here, go for it. Don't be scared. There it is. Put that head right there by the little hole so she can eat it later. Perfect. We close that up. Real fast snakes. And then speaking of fast snakes, we have the little Pygmy Brown, Mr. Brown down here. See, look, see him? He's already ready for food. You can see his face poking out. Let me move this stuff so it's out of the way because he's going to shoot out like crazy. We'll give him a chick today. Perfect little chick. Mr. Brown. Where are you, Mr. Brown? Come on. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, right onto the floor. Into the middle of the snake room, wrapping around the food bowl. This is a wild snake. Look at him. He's chewing down on that food right now. He's wrapped around the bowl. He's shot out completely. This is what makes Australian elapids so dangerous. They are so food motivated when it comes to keeping them in captivity, let alone handling in general. They're such a speedy snake. Alright, I'm going to need this snake to go back inside its enclosure. Let's get it. Good sized snake too, you can see. Oh! Alright, you want the food still? Twitchy? Okay, looks like he's going to cause some problems, so let me grab that tail. There we go, I got him by his tail. I'm going to put him inside his enclosure, and I'll put the food in his enclosure with him. You want it back? He still wants that food. He's just a little spooked that I grabbed him now. Oh, geez, I'll close that. Close that real quick. He's right there in the corner. Okay. He is so speedy. Okay, the chick's in there. He'll eat that. That was pretty interesting to see him shoot out like that. Nighttime feedings seem to be the more exciting feedings. The snakes are more comfortable at night. A lot of different snake species on the world like to come out at night versus coming out on a hot day, especially African species or viper species. So let's see. We're going to put away the baby green anaconda. That's what we'll do. We're going to finish up with putting our sweet little baby green anaconda away. She's right in here. There we go. Look at her. She's a sweet girl. She's just hanging out right there in the can. I'm going to pick her up real gentle because she's got that food. I'm going to support her. Move her right back into her enclosure. Now that her sibling's done eating, it's safe to put them back together. There you go, back with your sister. Perfect. 2 happy anacondas. Alright. And I think that's going to be it for this. Oh, wait! What am I saying? While we were filming one of the snakes eating, I had to clean the Bushmaster enclosure. Let's go put the Bushmaster back in its enclosure and then wrap up. Alright guys, so I had just finished cleaning the enclosure and we're getting a shot of one of the snakes eating. And it happens to be the Bushmaster enclosure. So check this out. We've got the female Bushmaster right here. She went to the bathroom. She laid a big spicy meatball in her enclosure to the point where the whole entire paper towel of the whole entire bottom of the enclosure was saturated. So we really wanted to make sure she's not sitting in her own fecal matter. So I got her nice and clean. Look at this, guys. She is getting huge. Look at her. Lachius muta, the Bushmaster. Look at that. Beautiful species of pit viper, the longest, largest pit viper on the planet. My favorite species of viper. We're going to gently put her back inside her enclosure and see if possibly she's willing to eat even after having her enclosure clean and being handled. Some of my animals are so used to being handled that they'll still eat. So I've got this rat right here. Let's see if she'll enjoy it. Want a rat? Oh yeah, she's interested. Look. Oh, look at that. She went for it. She gonna go again? Oh, look at that. Even after being handled and having her enclosure clean and handled again, be put back in the enclosure, right after putting her back in the enclosure, she ate. No problems. That's amazing. This snake is awesome. I love this Bushmaster. I've had it for about over a year now, and she's been growing like a weed. So is her sibling, the male, in the other enclosure, but his enclosure is nice and clean. We'll feed him after this, but I guess that's going to be it for this episode. I will see you guys on the next one. Stay beautiful, stay safe, but most of all, stay gangster.